we move, if we have a plane that has a nav mesh on it, and then we move it, does the nav mesh move with it?
I don't believe so.
So right now, I have this plane with this nav mesh on it. If I move that, the nav mesh is still there, isn't it? Yeah. So what is this guy? Yeah. I think you're right. What if? Okay, so the nav mesh.
So I think Jesus, you gotta know to get up.
Yeah, but I guess I don't necessarily trust that to do it at runtime like that. Like I wonder why it's not packaged with it.
What are you trying to do at runtime?
Build a nav mesh.
I looked it up earlier, and there's not a way to do it from what I read.
We just watched the whole video on doing it
Because
while you were gone.
he used this thing. Like the nav mesh surface is a high level component that works with the nav mesh that you have to install separately.
Right, but I'm wondering why you have to install it separately. Why isn't it part of the API?
The only thing that was
You can
part
go
of
on there
it,
and leave feedback for
the only thing that was part of the API from what I read was changing nav mesh obstacles.
Oh, we could do that. Well, let's look at how a nav mesh obstacle works, because we can set something up as an obstacle and then remove it.
Right. Does that remove the obstacle after you bake it? If you remove the object.
Okay, the nav mesh obstacle component allows you to describe moving obstacles that nav mesh agents should avoid while navigating the world. For example, barrels or crates controlled by the physics system. While the system is moving, while the obstacle is moving, the nav mesh agents do their best to avoid it. That's kind of like exactly what we want, right? Yeah. When the obstacle is stationary, it carves a hole in the nav mesh. When nav mesh agents then change their paths to steer around it or find a different route if the obstacle causes the pathway to be completely blocked.
Yeah, the only thing is I don't know if they were describing being able to create an obstacle.
Well, I'm thinking,
Walk around.
I'm thinking this. Let's clear the nav mesh surface. Then I'm going to go to the base here, and we are not going to make this base.
What is jump?
That's so you can create a gap between two things where it's a pathway that is jumpable, but there isn't actually it's just empty space.
Right.
All right. I'm going to make the base and the wall not navigation static. Instead, we're going to say that the base is going to be a nav mesh obstacle. And we already said that the plane is a nav mesh, is walkable. So now we go and bake this. So it appears that the entire plane is walkable, but when the let's see if he paths around the base because it's set up as an obstacle.
You want to say
What?
these bars, this was terrible.
Okay, he did walk around it.
Yeah.
It was a little goofy how he did it, but
He walked up to me and was like, I want to go through, but you're in the way. I didn't want to walk around the wall, like not go through it.
yeah. So he starts off there on the wall.
That's weird.
And then he recognized he didn't get up on that obstacle until it was too far. So we could, let me go to the base. I'm going to make the obstacle size bigger. So size.
If you turn off the measuring grid, you should be able to see it better, I think. Yeah.
That's okay. All right, that's what we want. So now I'm setting the obstacle to be this box that's coming out from it.
You may have to rewrite that.
You think obstacles take into consideration? I would feel like an obstacle isn't part of the baked mesh.
Well, I watched a video and it was, but I don't. Theirs seemed like it automatically updated. So I don't know.
Why was it allowed to get that close?
Because it's not centered. Like, the center is off. So like I can see the box around it. It's going off behind the wall, but it doesn't extend in front of it. That side.
Oh, is this the side that,
Yeah.
oh, I have it on the wrong side. I was thinking this is the guy that's moving.
Yeah.
So this should actually be at 3. Okay, so that wasn't horrible. And then what we can do is after that falls over, what if we turn off the obstacle aspect of the base? So I need to give myself access to the base in here. So public game object base. And then down here, we'll say this dot base. Oh, base is a, call this wall base. Dot get component nav mesh obstacle. Dot enabled is equal to false. So after we see the wall fall, we'll push the button to tell him to start going, but we'll turn off the obstacle and see if he'll walk through the wall then. It won't make it go up on it yet, but at least that'll. Oh, I never connected the base to the script. Okay, so that's doing what we want it to do, except we want him to drive up onto the. So for the wall itself, see if I make that kinematic, it's not going to fall anymore. Yeah.
Is that a Boolean value that you can set?
Yeah, I can turn it on.
So
after it falls, I can set it. Yeah. And which cube is the one? This is the cube that's traveling, right? I'm going to make this guy have a rigid body. Okay, so he's interacting with that now. Now we just need to we need to shape it down a little bit. That wall needs to be paper thin, so he can, because now he's interacting with the wall, but he's stuck on the corner because the wall is.
Yeah.
We really need to kind of create a ramp effect on the top of that wall, or.
You put another cube object, like another cube to act as ramp, and then just don't.
Well, I was really thinking if we can kind of poke it into the just kind of shove it into the ground a little bit, like the wall fell, I kind of smushed into the ground, and it's to create a nice level surface.
Mine kind of does that, but there's still a flat surface.
There's an edge. Yeah, we need no edge. What kind of primitives can we put on top of this wall? We can put a plane. So see what that looks like when it falls now. Okay, so we have this plane there, so now I want to. Man, did they build this wall with an army running over it in mind? All right, so now we just need to figure out what the angle of that guy needs to be. So that's on the plane.
Started at 60.
Oh, it won't let me actually.
You have to lift it up. It is rotating in the center.
What do you think it did?
Yeah, it just rotated around the center. So now you're gonna have to raise it back up.
Well, I wanted to position it in this like here, so I could see the ramp.
Yeah, but when you the middle of it.
Oh, so you're talking about lift it, this not lift the wall up.
Right.
Yeah.
It rotates.
Yeah, to get a flatter surface, because the game objects do have or the navmesh agents have a maximum like height that they can.
You can change that.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah.
Oh, I lost my scene.
Yeah. Maybe like drag it out.
So it's like over rotated now, right?
Yeah.
And now make it skinnier.
Lower it and then slide it down. So it's
So let me just copy the component for this plane. Then we'll stop this. And then I'm going to paste that component. So that's what that plane looks like. Oh, hold on. We need that plane itself to be a rigid body.
yeah.
Oh, it fell.
It's kinematic.
It's kinematic. Well, I still want to know why it fell. Well, when I made it kinematic, it shoved the guy off the back.
Make it not as tall. The plane is scale it down.
I think I might need to do that.
Yeah, and then you gotta slide it back into there.
What's it bouncing off of? What if I make its mass 0? Will that not be able to shove it back? No, definitely still shoved it back.
Make the mass a lot. Like, really
Make it huge?
Yeah. That should be good.
We're almost there. Let's before we do anything else. If I turn the box collider off on this guy, but he's just a rigid body. No, he went through it.
The navmesh agent wants to stay on the navmesh. He's not going to get lifted off of it just because.
So you're thinking it's the nav mesh throwing him back?
No, why he didn't. No, I don't know about that. I have no clue. But he doesn't want to go up in space off of the navmesh. The navmesh agent wants to stay connected to the navmesh.
Mesh agent. Okay. So after we set his destination, what if we disable the nav mesh agent on the guy?
I don't know.
So we've set his destination. Now let's grab the nav mesh agent. And set enable to false.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll already have calculated his trajectory towards it. But we turn the nav mesh agent off, which will allow him to hopefully crawl where we need him to crawl. This whole thing's like a hack.
Who wants to see here about game development? It's all a bunch of hacks and tricks.
Yeah, it set destination can only be called on an active agent. Okay, so that's not the solution. And let's go into this plane and let's set it navigation static walkable. We'll set this wall navigation. Oh, that's then let's bake. But the nav mesh won't move with him. That's the problem we already had. Yeah, that made it worse.
Oh, what was the, when you were baking, what's the drop height and jump distance? It'll connect two things that aren't connected. That'll like give a walkable surface. A traversable
Oh, we
surface
could, yeah. What if we do?
that doesn't have a.
Can we set up that plane as a jump?
Possible.
I mean, max slope is at 45 degrees. I think we're shallower than that.
Yeah.
See, he starts walking on it, then he catches the, I think he's still catching the edge of the wall. That's what it looks like. Oh, all right, this thing's already baked, right? All right, so I made that wall really skinny, and that didn't make a difference. I have a feeling that you're right about that nav mesh agent, or the nav mesh, that the agent doesn't want to lift off of it.
Right.
So can we build it with this height? Here, I'm going to let it fall. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the wall's current transform. Then we're going to set that transform. So now it's laying down. Then we're going to bake.
Make it like that, and then at the start,
Flip it back up. Yeah. But I need to set the wall as navigation static, walkable. And with this, you might not even need that lip. Okay. So now we have a walkable nav mesh. So now we need to stand the wall back up. How can I stand it back up in its current position?
use reverse gravity.
All right, so that's its current position. Does that still have the bake thing?
Yeah. Like I can see it going through the wall. So if you play it, it'll just go right over it.
Oh, so close. He looked like he got about halfway across it, didn't he?
Yeah.
It feels like maybe he did get too far off the.
If you increase the drop height.
Oh,
You gotta throw all that down.
yeah. I really don't think, just for the sake of argument right here, let me just hide that plane and see if he does just as well without the plane.
Just as badly.
Well, yeah.
You lifted up the wall.
Yeah, I saw. Let's give the wall more mass. All right, well, he definitely didn't shove the wall that time. What would be snapping him back? Do we need to have like another like slope on the backside to like let him? Just to kind of create a bridge. So if I create a 3D object, oh no. Okay. Static, walkable, and then set the wall. Paste component values. Okay.
I'm ready to just try to think.
Might try to what?
Yeah.
Well, we're already so far down the line now. We almost got this. If it were me, I wouldn't use the thing from GitHub. Just because I would be concerned that I mean, you can use it if you want. I'm just saying, if it were me, I'd be concerned why it's not just included in Unity. It would bother me using some third-party thing like that, because then in like some update, it might just break. So I'd rather figure it out using primitives that already exist. All right, see what that does. Oh, I think it's hitting the plane now. You would think this would be like not a big deal, right? Let's get it just. If I take that obstacle off. Well, it's off anyways from the get-go. And I go ahead and lay the wall on its side. And then we just bake. All right, we need that wall to be walkable. All right, let's make sure he can walk over that. All right, so that has nothing to do with the rest of it. That has everything to do with, this is just a normal nav mesh. So if we can solve this problem, then we have the whole thing solved. What's going on the back side of this guy? All right, so I have a slope of 60 now. I have agent height and drop distance set pretty high. So let's shorten. Okay. Problem was the base was too high. So let's stand this guy back up. Shrink that base down. Then let's position it. Okay. Yeah, the base was too high on the other side. So I think we should be able to mimic the whole thing now. So if I make this guy kinematic initially, he won't fall. Okay. So now if I do that, oh, I need to turn the obstacle back on. Because our base needs to be set as an obstacle. And then I also need to, just for testing, right, I'm not going to turn that obstacle off yet. Let's just make sure that he can walk around it.
It's going to go right over. It's going to try to go over. Because he sees a walk path.
Even though we have the obstacle?
The wall isn't an obstacle.
No, but the base
But you have a walkable path above it. The obstacle doesn't interfere with your path.
Well, it will if I make it taller.
But that was what made everything go crazy.
No. The base was taller.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to make the obstacle taller.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So now when I press A, I'm going to now when I press S, I'm going to turn off kinematic and turn off the obstacle. Then I'll press A and he should be able to walk right over it. And I think that should be a full solution. Or if we want to do, we'll do F instead. If input get key down key code dot F, then we're going to say turn the obstacle off. And this dot wall dot get component rigid body dot is kinematic equals false. And that should cause it to fall. And then if we press A after that, he should walk over it. Okay, he fell. Obstacle should be off. So I feel like with some tweaking on heights and stuff like that, that's probably as good of a solution as you're going to get. I mean, that at least does it. Because now if I don't change anything else other than don't make the wall fall, now he goes around the obstacle. So, whoa, buddy. Was our obstacle too big? I think our obstacle might just be a little too high. So see, you got stuck. Okay. So I feel like something in that ballpark of working with nav mesh obstacles, working with pre-baked nav meshes, and disabling and enabling kinematic versus other things. So I do think that if I stand this guy straight up, because I mean right now we have it faked so the wall's leaning, right? So if I stand this guy straight up, then on this one, no, he should not fall in that one. Well, he fell because he was in front of the, so let's just get him centered over this better. That way we can actually knock him over. Okay, So now he's not falling over, and this guy is a rigid body. So now when I press F and I turn all that stuff off, I'm going to apply a force to that rigid body as well. This dot wall dot get component rigid body dot add force vector 3 dot, I'm trying to think which direction is it going to be. Left times 10. We might have to experiment with the 3 to 4 directions before we figure out which way he needs to push.
Try pushing it again.
I did.
Oh.
I pressed it multiple times. Oh, I think part of this is its mass. It is a heavy wall. Oh, hold on. It's still a heavy wall. Okay. Okay, it's wobbling, so I just need to hit it harder. Oh, okay, it's going the wrong direction, but it's wobbling more. So this will be up 1,000. Wrong up.
Wait for it to fall down once.
Oh, okay. That's actually not a bad idea. Oop. There we go. Oh.
Much more dramatic.
You can't get much more dramatic than that. Ready for this, man? Hit, fall, march over the wall. All right, so let's not make it fall that way. But I think we're pretty much here. So I'm thinking left. Let's just make sure it goes the right direction. And as soon as this is done, we're taking another break because my eyes are burning. This guy just had the wall thrown at him. See, now it's fun, right? Are you ready for this, man? You're watching? All right, so other direction and a little softer. Just a nudge. So it's to the right. And let's do 50. All right. Does that give you something to work with?
Sure.
All right. So let's take let's take 20 minutes. I need to get up and walk around. Calling it a night. We're not calling it a night. We got another hour and a half to go.
Actually, after the break, I do have something to add.